My name is Andrew Stephen Rose. Welcome to the show. For years, I've been known as the gym guy. This show isn't about the gym. Some of it might be, but most of it, it's about business, it's about health, it's about your life, your relationships, and optimizing all of it to be the best you can be.
I could have filmed an intro for you, but I'd rather you do it because I can't convey the message anywhere near how you can. So what I'll do is I'll just say, who are you? And where did you come from? And why the fuck are you still here?
Right. Yeah. You ready?
I'm ready when you are, brother.
Yeah, man. So my name is Frank Parisi. I'm a 44-year-old person in long-term recovery. I'm sober 13 years, July 31st. I'm from Little Italy in Manhattan. And I'm here today because, one, God, and two, because I keep my sword sharp through constantly investing in personal development and others.
That's a good one. Keep your sword sharp. What's that line about a dull knife in the kitchen?
Yeah, right?
All right, so I mean, take me through your day, right? Like, you're a busy guy, like you're all over the place now. Like, what's the first thing you do every day? Why is it the first thing? And how did you come to it?
The first thing I do every morning as soon as I wake up is straight prayer. So I always ask God first thing in the morning to keep my family safe, to keep us healthy for today, to give me somebody that I can help and show me the opportunity. And that's how I start my morning. Then I usually go into a meditation. I do some readings, and then I have intent for the day. So what is my intent for today? Today my intent was to do this with you, get a workout, work on some other business plans that I have, in the works, and then spend time with my son and my wife this evening. So the intent for the day, and like, what's the principle that I'm going to practice today? Because at the end of the day, Andy, what I do is I review my day and take an honest look at myself of where I fell short in my intention, where I fell short in the principle that I was going to practice throughout the day. So like, my big thing right now is working with honesty and integrity and showing up in that every single day. So I try to take some principles every morning and bring that into my consciousness and live in that throughout the day.
So when you say showing up with honesty and integrity every day, what does that mean to you?
I was just being true to myself, my brother. Like, for me, it's about constantly evolving and elevating. And I think most people don't do this. For me, it's taking an honest look at myself in all areas of my life and where am I falling short in these areas. You have to take an honest look at yourself. The reason why I was able to overcome everything that I just did with my health was because over the past 13 years that I've been sober, my brother, I've taken an honest look at myself on a daily basis. And I look at where the shortcomings are, and I don't fall into any type of morbid reflection around it. Like, let's say I wasn't honest with myself, and I didn't have integrity with myself that day, and I fell short in certain areas. I don't sit at night and beat myself up over it. I just practice the following day, right? It's progress, it's not perfection.
Right.
So it's just constantly improving every day, but honestly taking an honest look at myself and then having that intent to start the following day.
Now, do you write it down? Do you just...
Yeah. Sometimes I review my day through writing it down, journaling, and then sometimes I'll just review it in like a meditation or reflection in the evening.
I definitely didn't... There wasn't a direction that I saw coming when when we set this up was, and I talked about this in Charleston when we met, was the concept of radical accountability and like pointing to yourself first, like, okay, where did I go? Where could I improve? Where did I go wrong? Instead of like pointing at everybody else. So I'm thankful that you brought that up, because like I'm gonna use that one.
Yeah, man.
But you talk about health, and I know it's like we could sit here and talk for hours, but can you? I don't know how. Actually, you know what? Do it on your own. However you want to do it. Explain what you went through, health-wise, the last few years, and then my follow-up question to it is about the family that helped you. So go.
Sure. So, as I said, I've been sober coming up July 31st. It'll be 13 years. And when I have a whole past before that, Andy, a crazy past. But since I've been sober, as I said, I've constantly invested in God. I've invested in others. I've worked continuously daily on my personal development, taking honest looks at myself, looking at where I could improve in all areas of my life. And last year, and I've been a healthy guy. Even though I had addiction in my life, I've worked out since I'm 14 years old, and I've always taken care of my body. I've always eaten well. Even in addiction, I was still like not the normal drug addict. I would still go to the gym every day. I'd train for an hour and a half. I'd eat healthy, but then I would pop pills, which was insane. But that's what I did, and I worked out for 30 years, right? So last January, I developed this cough, and I'm traveling around the country because I had a drug and alcohol treatment center at the time, doing marketing for them, and I'm in California, I'm in Florida, I'm in New York, and this cough is persisting. So I start going to doctors here, and I'm in Austin, Texas. Central Texas is a high concentration of cedar, and there's a lot of allergies in Central Texas. So they're telling me that it's allergies. So I go to another primary care physician. I'm like, listen, this isn't allergies. I've been in different parts of the country, and it's still persisting, this cough. They start treating me with steroids. It doesn't clear it up. Now I start going to see a gastrointestinal pulmonologist, and I have a cardiologist appointment. I go see the two specialists, the gastro and the pulmonologist. Nothing was wrong with my gastro. Everything came back okay. Because now I'm starting to lose a little bit of weight. I'm working out, but I'm like, maybe I'm in my 40s. I'm not eating as much. My digestion is getting a little off balance right now. So I'm contributing. I'm saying maybe that's what it is, But the cough is not, and I'm used to allergies here, but now it's like months, and this cough is not going away. We've tried treating it. I finally go to a pulmonologist. They tell me that I have a pneumonia. It's the rarest form of pneumonia. It's prevalent after COVID. It's called organizing pneumonia. Only like 3% of the population has this. They start treating me with high-dose steroids, 60 milligrams of prednisone. They say they're going to have to keep me on this for 6 months, and high-dose antibiotics, and it should knock the pneumonia out. I start the treatments, and I get back to my house, and I'm getting worse. Now I'm starting to cough up this orange stuff, and I start to tell people that I feel like I'm dying. I can't eat. I'm not holding down food. And we'll call the doctor, and we let them know what's going on, and they give me more medication. And now I'm starting to feel helpless, Andy. I'm like, I'm helpless and I'm hopeless because I'm asking people for help, and no one's able to help me. That's just like months of going on. Finally, on May 8th of last year, 2023, I'm coughing all night, and this is now going on for a while. I'm coughing all night. I can't stop coughing. I feel like I'm having panic attacks. I feel like I'm having heart attacks. Can't breathe, shortness of breath, and everyone's telling me, well, it's the steroids. The doctors are telling me it's the steroids that you're taking. This is the side effect of it. That night, I cough up a half a bottle of Gatorade filled with blood. Prior to that, I was coughing up this orange mucus, which I thought was the cough breaking up. And I was letting the doctor know that I'm coughing up this orange stuff. Then now it's blood, dude. It's a half a bottle of blood. I cough up the whole night. And I tell my wife that morning, I drive my son to school. I said, I gotta go to the hospital. Dude, I was dying, bro. I felt like I was dying, but I was listening to everybody, the doctors, everybody telling me that I'm not. It's this pneumonia and it's the medications, steroids that are making you have these panic attacks. And so finally I get to the hospital and the pulmonologist goes, what's happened to you? I said, I told you what happened to me. I called you. I told you I feel like I'm dying. They admit me into the hospital. I'm in Austin, Texas. I'm there for hours. My wife leaves because we live in Texas. My whole family's in New York and New Jersey. And so my wife has to be with my 6-year-old son. So she goes home and I'm in the hospital and I'm like, all right, I'll be all right, don't worry. They tell me that I have sepsis. So now they're treating me with fluid. They pump me with like 18 gallons of fluid. One of the nurses misses she was supposed to put a medication in my arm, a pressor medication. She put the wrong pick in my vein, my brother, and infiltrated my entire arm. So I had a 3rd-degree burn. I had a 3rd-degree burn from the inside out from her putting the wrong pick in my arm. So I'm here alone. I got this pain in my arm. I don't know what's going on. They tell me I have an infection in my bloodstream. Finally, they figure it out. Another doctor comes in and goes, this guy doesn't have sepsis. He's got 9% heart function. His kidneys and his liver are failing. We have to send him up to Temple, Texas, which is an hour and a half away. This town of like 20,000 people, because the doctor tells me this is what's going to save my life. And I'm waking up on May 8th, and there's no way in hell that I'm thinking like, what? What do you mean save my life? So now I got this ride all the way up to Temple, Texas, an hour and a half by myself. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. My wife is going to drive now from Austin to come meet me. Thank God one of our neighbors came to be with my son. And now I'm driving up there, and I'm like thinking, am I going to fucking die? What the fuck am I facing right now? They're talking about my heart's failing. I have 9% of my heart function in my liver and my kidneys are failing. So there's a whole team of doctors waiting at this hospital in Temple, Texas. And they're going to put me on the most advanced form of life support called the ECMO machine. There's a doctor there, bro. Dr. Reddy. He was from New York. He was from, I think, Mount Sinai. He brought his whole team in from New York. This is what made the program in Temple, Texas, this town of 20,000 people, one of the best cardiothoracic units in the state. Like over Austin and San Antonio, major cities, this little town has one of the best, like Houston or Dallas has. It's like the 3rd best in the state. And because this doctor's there, who's not there no more. And so my wife's there with a picture of my son begging me to live, my brother. She gets to the hospital and she's got a picture of my kid begging me to live, bro. And I have 10 minutes to discuss with her finances because they're telling her that I have to be on a ventilator. And when you're in these situations, they're very honest with you. They tell her, we don't know if he's going to make it. So here I am now, having to talk to her about life, like me maybe dying and like what to do with finances. And they take my ring and they close my eyelids shut with tape and they take me back. Now, I could get into that whole story too, Andy, because I had a body experience. I don't know if you want me to get into that or not.
I definitely have a question about that for sure. But
yeah.
So
you want me to keep going?
You know what? Keep going. I'm just going to listen and.
Do you want me to talk about the out of body experience or just the?
You know what? The question I had about the out of body experience was when I met you, one of the things that stood out and was the most powerful thing that I heard from you was the line, "None of this is real."
Yes.
So, and I've I wrote it down that day. I've looked at it time and time again, and I found myself saying that in reference to you. But so take it from there, explain what
Sure.
that means, and just
Yeah.
keep it rolling, because
So here's what happens. So now dude, I leave my body while I code, I die. Like I died. It's in the records. I coded. I don't know that. I don't know that at the time. I know from the records now. But I leave my body during this process, and I go to a space of black. Everything's dark. And I have a friend that had passed away years ago that was with me. Okay, and when we go to next, where I went was just space, dark space, and I knew my buddy was with me, but there's no body. I just know he's with me, as if me and you were sitting next to each other, and I had my eyes closed and we're sitting next to each other. I know you're there. I knew he was there, and I knew he was there to bring me to where I was going. We were able to communicate telepathically. And then I had a voice tell me that we want you with us. At that time, I had a vision, and now I'm looking down at my body. I see myself down and my wife in the recovery room, and I have a vision of my son growing up without me, my brother. And I come from a very traumatic and dysfunctional family background and dynamic. And I developed the man I am, not knowing it 13 years ago. When I got sober, I didn't know it because I didn't have a son. But I got sober and developed the man I am today, so that my son and his future generations have a whole new shift in the way they think and act. And in that moment, I told God, or whatever it was, an angel, that I need to come back for my son. And they allowed me to come back, and the voice told me that I'm going to suffer, my brother. It said I would suffer. Because if I would have died, my son he would have the same pile of shit, because there's no way a kid is losing his father at 6 years old and is going to not have some form of fucking traumatic life after that. So I came back to suffer for my son, and I developed the man that I am today for my son, for his future generations, and for the world, my brother. Not just my son, but to help elevate the minds and spirits of humanity. God let me come back for this. And in that moment, I'm in the hospital now, and now I come to, and I have a pump in my groin for 9 days, okay? And I'm like, did that really happen? Did that experience really happen, or was it a delusion? I don't know. But I do know this. On May 18th, I had booked out a medium, my brother. I joined an entrepreneur group. That's where I met Silvio. I was supposed to be down in Miami on a yacht, a 92-foot yacht with a bunch of entrepreneurs. And I'm in the hospital fighting for my life. I booked this medium out 4 months earlier, and I have this appointment with her on May 18th. And I'm fighting for my life. I want to talk to my father. That's why I did it. My father died in 2021. So I wanted to talk to him. I booked this out prior to me even knowing any of this was happening with me. Like, I didn't know any, like, I booked this woman out prior to any of this. So now I can't walk, bro. I've lost now. I was jacked. I was like you. I was like 190. I'm like 5'6". I was like 190 in shredded, great. Now I'm like 150 in 10 days, bro. When you don't move, you're in bed for 10 days, my brother. You lose everything. It was an atrial fibrillation. I lost everything, and I'm sitting there, and I got this medium appointment, and my wife's like, I don't want you to do it as I'm doing it. So I get on this call with this woman, okay? I'm in the hospital, bro. I can't even walk. And I talk to my dad, and she knows everything about my father. She goes, are all your doctors from New York? All my doctors were from New York. Dr. Reddy brought the whole team down. She goes, "Are all your doctors from New York?" I say, "Yeah." She goes, "Your father sent them there." How does she know that? She goes, "He keeps telling me about a birthday and a pendant and a chain." I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about." May 19th, my mother comes into the hospital. I say, "Ma, I spoke to her. She knew everything. She knew the doctors were here. Daddy sent them here." How did she know that? But she had two things wrong. She's had a pendant and a chain. I have no idea what she's talking about, and a birthday. My father's mother died when he was 14 years old. I never knew my grandmother. May 19th was her birthday. The pendant and the chain, Andy? Dude, I don't believe in any of this shit. Just so you're aware. I'm not this type of guy. The pendant, I don't. The pendant and the, now I do. The pendant and the chain, she goes, Aunt Dolores, my aunt, my father's aunt, gave a pendant of his mother and a chain to my mother when he died. I never even knew about this pendant and chain. My aunt gave it to my mother gave it to my Aunt Camille. I FaceTime my Aunt Camille while I'm in the hospital on May 18th, and she's wearing the pendant and the chain. None of this shit is real, my dude. We're in like episode 1 of the sitcom that doesn't end. So for me, that experience that I had, I'm so grateful for, bro. I'm so grateful for, because like none of this is real. We're in a dream and we get to create the dream. While I was in the hospital, because I was in that state, I had the thought to write a book. What if I pass away? Will my son know everything about me? I started to write a freaking book in the hospital in that state. We're in a dream. I'm a kid from the streets of Little Italy that grew up with mafia ties that wrote a book. you like, we're in a dream. We're the actor, producer, screenwriter of, and the director of our movie. And how we want the movie to be is how the movie's going to be. We're in the movie and we're all of it. And I'm so grateful for that experience. So now I come back, Andy, okay? And now I have to learn to walk again. I have to learn to walk. Because they're telling me now, by the way, I didn't even mention this. I'm in the hospital and all the doctors are in hazmat suits. They're all in hazmat suits and they have me boarded up because the orange stuff that I'm coughing up, they think I have tuberculosis or something. Could you imagine this? You wake up on May 8th, you have a cough. Everybody says you're okay. You're telling everyone you're dying. You feel something's wrong. You go to the hospital, they mess your arm up. Now they're talking about mitral valve replacement or heart transplant. And there's hazmat suits and you're in a pump now. You just had an out-of-body experience. You spoke to this medium. Like, what is going on? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm in a Black Mirror episode right now. You know? Like, what is going on? But I'm like, okay, I'm here. This is your current reality. You have to radically accept, Frank, that you're in a fucking hospital bed. You have a pump in your leg. And all this crazy shit's happening to you. But if you want to live, you gotta get up. If you want to live this life, you gotta get up, bro. And you've been in these situations before. You've been in jail. You've been in treatment. You've been in situations where you didn't know if you were going to get out of. You've been in situations where you didn't know how long you were going to be there. You've been in these situations before. You haven't been in this situation before. But you've been in similar situations which has prepared you to be. You used to bench 445, bro. You're going to get up and your 45 today is going to be 10 steps. You feel me? And then those 10 steps, my brother, turned into a mile. Then they cut my chest open and they put 13 staples here and they put the most advanced pump into my heart called the impeller pump because they were going to rest my heart and see if my heart was going to recover because the heart's a muscle, and they're talking about the heart needs to either recover or we're going to have to replace it, which is totally like insane to me. But whatever, I know I'm going to need to get my chest cut open, so I got to get physically, mentally, and emotionally ready for this. So 10 steps one day, 20 steps the next day. They cut me open, they put the pump in, I'm starting to feel better. I take no medication, I take no pain meds because I'm an opiate addict. So I take no pain meds, 13 staples, Tylenol and ice. And now, bro, I'm walking around the fucking unit 5 fucking miles, my brother. 5 fucking miles while I'm hearing code blue. Code blue means someone died, bro, on my fucking unit, and I'm watching a bag come out with another dead body, and I'm walking the fucking unit, bro, and I'm bringing light in the darkest of times to that fucking unit. I'm telling people to get up and walk with me. The nurses and doctors, my brother, bought me a fucking Superman cape, and every time I walked out of my thing, they would play the Superman cape because of the man that I developed, bro. Through personal development, through God, through investing in myself, through investing in others. I created a fucking human being that could withstand anything, even death, and still be of service to other people in the fucking unit, still bringing light to the nurses, bringing light to the doctors, bringing light in the darkest of fucking times. And that's what I talk about, keeping my sword sharp, bro. By constantly investing in your personal development, in God, you'll be able to withstand anything life throws at you. And I know now, that none of this shit is real. None of it is real. So go after all of yours, bro. We all one. We all connected. My brother, I had to go through so much fucking internal suffering, physical suffering, and in that was so much growth, bro. Okay, June 1st, now I gotta go get my arm debrided. I go in, they finally check to see if my heart's gonna recover. Dr. Hassan goes, no, your heart's dead. My heart's dead. Now I need a heart transplant and a skin graft surgery. So now I'm like, okay. They're like, you have an O positive, all right? So you're going to need 6 weeks to 8 weeks before we can find you a heart, which is good in my mind because I have this skin graft surgery that I'm getting June 1st. So I want the skin graft I want to debride the arm, let the arm heal because they take this much of my arm. It's like 1 inch, 2 inches of my arm chunked down. So all that meat's gone, it has to grow back so that they could take a piece of my leg and put it on my arm. That'll be done, and then I can have the heart transplant because once they do a heart transplant, if I survive all this, once they do a heart transplant, I'm on medication that lowers my immune system for the rest of my life. So if I have this giant open wound that needs to heal, I'd rather have that done first, rather than be immunosuppressed after a heart transplant. Like, all this thing's going through your head because surgeries are coming, infections can happen, my immune system's suppressed, and all that, man. What do you do with all that, bro? What do you do with all that? What do you do with, how do I tell my son this? How do I show my son? I was always the super dad. How do I show my son what I look like? How do I talk to him about this? What is my life going to look like after this? I was always active, athlete, physical, Superman, jacked like you, bro. Now I'm like, am I going to be able to lift my kid? Am I going to be able to throw a ball with him? Am I going to be able to run with him? What is this going to look like? And I just surrender, dog. Complete abandonment and surrender of my family, my future, my wife, my finances, my life to God. Complete abandonment to God. Everything. Everything, bro. My path, my future, everything that I think I know, I give to you. All of it. That's all. Only I have to completely surrender. And then June 1st, they debride my arm. So I go in for the skin graft surgery, and now I'm on a transplant list. When you get on a transplant list, you have to go see a psychologist, social worker, colonoscopy, dentist, dude, they check you head to toe in every direct. They want to know how much money you make. What do you do for a living? And then they sit as a board, and imagine go through the psyche of that now. Now I need a heart. if you don't get the heart and you don't get approved, you get to have this machine called an LVAT machine. That's a machine that goes into your heart and 4 wires come out of your stomach. Yeah, this is how you get to live. With a belt that goes around you and you charge it, and it gives you 18 hours of charge. You can never go into water again. You look like Dr. Octopus in the front. So these are my options, right? Heart transplant or LVAT, and I'm praying now for a heart transplant because I don't want to walk around with this freaking machine as a 44-year-old man, you know? So these are my options. So go through the psyche of that. Or you got to wait for someone to die so you could live. You know what I mean? Like you're waiting for someone's fucking, like, family's, like, hurt and suffering so you can have life. Like, go through the psyche of that of some human beings, bro. You know what I mean? God is everything, He is nothing, my brother. We are all one. We are all connected. There's none of this separation. It's just fucking low vibration bullshit and ego. But we all fucking one and we all connected, bro. And then June 2nd, they come in, bro. And they tell me that I'm getting a heart tomorrow. One day I was on the transplant list. There's something greater looking out for me, bro. I'm not oblivious to that. My whole life it's been like this. I don't know what the path is for me. I feel like I'm here to help wake people up to the beauty of this life, to the gift of life, the fact that you get to wake up today, that you get to, like, eat and taste, you get to love on your loved ones today, you get to, like, experience sunlight. Like, people bro, I couldn't shower for 6 weeks. You get what I'm saying? I couldn't hug my wife. I had so many wires in me, bro. I had so many wires and pumps and needles and cut open. I couldn't hug my wife. I would put my head on her head like a penguin, dude. Like, to hug my wife. Like, people don't realize how the simplest of things that you have, you take for granted in life. Your sight, your taste, your smell. We come here to feel all these things, bro. We get so caught up in the daily bullshit. And we have to be in it to live in this society and system that we are born into. But it shouldn't be our main focus. It was mine, my brother, for a long time. And I missed out. It was about the grind. And it's our duty as men to get wealthy and take care of our families, yes. But, like, in that process, like, you have to take time to appreciate your family, to pour into them. Like, I didn't do that before, bro. I was about success and grind, and I took them everywhere, but I wasn't present with them. I wasn't present to the moment, dude. I was always looking at, like, what's the next deal, or who's the next, what's the next thing I need to do for business, and never focused on what the fuck really matters. Because when I was dying, dude, I didn't give a fuck about money or business. It was the experiences that I had, the people that I helped. I had a kid come in, this kid Johnny, bro, and I didn't want people to see me. People flew in from all over the country to see me. I was in there for 6 weeks. I got my heart transplant on June 3rd. I have a fucking girl's heart in my chest, bro. We're all one and connected. There's no separation. Some girl was born and died to give me life. Like, we're all one. I have a girl in my chest. I feel her. Don't tell me we're not one. We're all one, bro. We're all connected. And I'm so grateful for all the experience that I had, Andy, even the out of body, bro, because I know, like, one, we're all going to be together, dog, because my man was with me. So that brings me so much fucking comfort, bro, knowing that, like, I'm going to be with my kid. Like, it's going to suck leaving him here and he ain't going to understand that shit. But we're going to be together again, man. We all going to fucking be together again. So while you're here, fucking soak it up. Like, if this was your last day on earth, how the fuck do you want to vibrate, bro? I only want to vibrate high. My past year after receiving this gift of life, this heart, this transplant, this donor, this love. I love this family. I haven't met them yet. They sent me a letter. I got to send them a letter. I can't wait to meet them. I want to embrace them. They'll know that it was given to a fucking person that's doing good on this planet, that's only only positive, only about love, only about helping and elevating and evolving, like they're gonna be happy that they got. And I want to embrace this fucking family, dude. I want to embrace them. We need to wake up to how precious life is. I feel like our whole purpose here is that we're beings that create. We're creative beings. So I feel the reason I was able to process and respond to everything that I've been through in my life, and especially lately, was because that I created this new human being, right? Because I am is in the Bible, right? It's Jesus's words, and I'm not a religious guy, but those are creative words, and we're here to create. And by creating, it's not just from the external. It always starts with us creating the human being that can go out and start a gym, start a business, face death and look it in the eyes, and come back and write a fucking book, become a motivational speaker, become a coach, start another business. Always in creation, dude. Even in the darkest and lowest of times. Our whole purpose here is creation. And as we continue to create the greatest version of ourselves, everybody around us raises up, bro. Our loved ones. Bro, I pour so much into my health. You watch it on social media. Every day I'm eating this great foods. No salt, low cholesterol, because for my heart now, low salt, low cholesterol. I watch what I always did. So it's not hard for me to have the discipline to eat like this. But brother, I went from 145. Now I'm only like 160. But I transformed my body over the past 12 months. I am fucking proud of myself. I take my shirt off. I created a body of my dream. You would never know I had a heart transplant. You would I'll outwork 20-year-old guys in the gym now. Creation, bro. Creation helps us to embrace abundance. Because we have a vision in our mind, and then we take the action to make that vision a reality. It's the most beautiful fucking thing in life. Think about it. You thought at one point in your life, I want a fucking gym. You have a fucking gym. Tell me that's not one of the greatest fucking things in the world. For me, I wanted to have a fucking beautiful home. Dude, I used to be broke. I was $50,000 and that fucking 13 years ago. I had nothing. I was strung out on drugs. I always wanted to live in this specific neighborhood, in this type of house. I did that. You know what I mean? Creation. I didn't come from the family that I wanted. Like, I created this family that I always wanted. You know, we have core values in my home. You know, we live by them. Love, honesty, integrity, empathy, connection. You know, you create your reality, bro. But it all starts with the work we do internally. And that is why I was able to respond in the manner that I did, where most people would just crumble. I turned it into more of I turned the coal more into another diamond, bro. You know? And there's no difference of me or any other human being out there. It's just about having a vision, making agreements with yourself, a contractual agreement that no matter what, you're going to show up in these agreements. No matter what's going on in the world, you're going to show up in these, I'm going to be the guy walking in the hospital because I'm a man of service. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be in that hospital because that's the agreement I made with myself. I know if I want love, I have to give it, right? So that's the agreement I made with myself. I'm going to show love because I'm going to get it back. You make those agreements with yourself and you take massive action and fuck all the noise. Whatever the noise is for you, you fuck all the noise and you take massive action until the vision is a reality, and then rinse and repeat, and you will live the most fucking abundant life ever. And it really doesn't even have to do with finances, but the finances will come because the fucking human you created is just vibrating at such a high frequency, it has to come to you. All goodness has to come to you. So I don't know. That was a lot.
Well, that was the whole point, you know. Like, you know, I was joking about this a little earlier. Like, people aren't here to listen to me. People are here to listen to you. You know, if it's just me on here, it's a different story. But, you know, you had mentioned, we were texting back and forth the other day about, like, the next time you're in Charleston, you want to come to the gym. And
I do.
The most valuable thing in that gym. I have a mural on the wall, and I get choked. When I told you this story in Charleston, I started to get choked up when I told it. But and a good friend of ours passed away a few years ago, and it was. I mean, he was young, he was healthy. We didn't think anything was wrong with him, but there was a lot wrong, and ultimately he passed away. And we started a charity event in his name every year. We call it Mitchapalooza. We just get together and jam out, have a great workout, tell stories, you know. And a couple years ago, it was the year I bought the gym, they changed how they did it, and they went around to different gyms that Mitch used to train at. And one of them was the gym that I bought. It was a different name when I bought it. But you know, his mom and his dad and his brother were going to be flying into town, and it was really the first time people were going to see the gym after I had bought it. So I commissioned a local artist to paint a mural, and that mural says, "You don't have to do this. You get to do this."
Yes.
And it's one of those, like, and his parents, you know, his mom and his dad and his brother, like, I didn't tell anybody that I got it done. I just hung it on the wall. So when they walked around the corner, it was like, but it was really like, it's the way he lived his life. And it was really, at the last moment, you know, he signed the paperwork because he knew he was going to die to become an organ donor. He did it when he was he did it when he was in the hospital. So, you know, there's someone or multiple people that are running around right now that, like, Mitch is driving them. You know, so it's one of those,
Yeah,
when
bro.
I heard your story, I was like,
It's so beautiful, bro.
I don't believe in accidents. I've said this before. I don't think anything happens by accident. We don't cross paths with people by accident.
I agree.
You know, and I'm sitting here earlier today, and I'm talking about, like, what did I want my entire podcast to be about? And I'm like, I don't want to talk about the gym. The gym's part of it, but it's the health component of taking care of this, taking care of this. Like, how this looks on the outside is largely irrelevant, but if you build this house, what you put out into the world is the stuff that matters. And
Absolutely, bro.
I didn't know if you had met the family yet, because you talked about it when you were
I haven't, man.
but you did.
I haven't. I can't. I'm getting emotional talking to you about this, bro. You know, I get mad emotional about this, man. You know?
And it's like, so you've been able to write letters back.
It's beautiful. I've written letters. Yeah, they wrote me a letter that they wanna meet me, and I got to write them a letter, but I haven't been able to. Like, they wait a year,
Right.
Because they want everybody to be healed, you know. But I haven't gotten. I just wrote them a letter, so I'm waiting for the social worker to get back. I'm crying over it. I'm waiting for the social worker to get back to me, so I can meet them, you know.
And it's you know, it's the hero walk. I don't know what they call it anywhere else, but, you know, it was the night that, you know, we had a big party for Mitch, and his parents invited us, and there was tons of people at his house, and his parents invited us to go to the hospital that night, and I had never experienced anything like that. And it's, you know, like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's, you know, that was one of those, like, you never forget that moment.
Yeah. Dude, if you ever need me to come down there, man, at that event, I would love to go there.
Well, definitely. I think that's.
I'll speak and
I think
everything,
it's-
bro. I would speak at it. I mean, honestly, anything I could do.
Absolutely.
I have, bro. Since this happened to me, I've met, like, it's weird how energy works, and, like, people come in your life, like you say, for reasons, dude. And like a lot of old energy has been leaving my life, and new energy is coming in my life, dude. New people, whole new host of people. And I've met so many beautiful human beings since this. Like the quality of humans that I've met since this has happened has been just phenomenal. And like I've met people like me, dude, that are like, because Andy, the other thing is this: if I never worked out for the 30 years that I did, I would have died. Like the doctors told me, if I wasn't in the shape I was in, I would have died. The reason they finally figured out what was wrong with me, I have a rare gene called TTN, Titan, because no one knew what was wrong with me. They don't know why the gene was activated, but I have this rare gene. So like we could still be very looking healthy and taking care of ourselves and have some form of a genetic condition. With that being said, as we get older and things happen in life, right, ailments come, the more that we pour into our health, and not just our physical health, exactly what you're talking about. Health is also in our mind. It's like the books we read, the conversations we have, the people we hang out with, the music we listen to. You know, are we watching the news to like be low vibration? Obviously now we have to kind of watch what's going on, but how much of that are we ingesting? Because it's going to only lower our vibration, dude. And pouring into our health, healthy foods and nutrition, the way we should eat, really, not like American diet, but like how we should have always been eating, that we call diet. Taking care of ourselves physically, working out. If I didn't do all that, dude, the doctors told me I would have been dead. And they also told me that the average lifespan of a heart lasts 11 years. They said, and they were good to give me a heart being so young, at 43 at the time, because I take care of myself so well and I'm so disciplined. They say you could have this heart for 20 to 30 years. So obviously, the more that we pour into our health, that's the thing people don't, this is the other thing, bro, and I'm getting off with this, but it aggravates the shit out. It aggravates me because people are so quick. I have friends, okay? They do well. You know, they're doing well. They're VP, this, that. I mean, you know, not multimillionaires, but they make $150,000, $180,000 a year. And the boss tells them, get on the fucking airplane at 5 o'clock in the morning. They're on the fucking airplane. They're away from their family. And that's great. You're taking care of your family. Yeah, it's awesome. You're financially providing. But the most precious, and we need that in the system, but the most precious asset that we have on this experience is time. And how do you get more time? What is the only way you can get more time as a human being on earth? Is through health. You can have all the fucking money in the world. If you're sick, it's not going to fucking save you. But if you work out, you take care of your mind, body, and spirit, you eat healthy foods. Not to say you can't get hit by a car, you get a heart transplant because you have a rare gene. But you stack the deck more in your favor to provide yourself with more time. And nobody does this. It's fucking crazy. Our country is filled with obesity. It's insane. That used to aggravate me a ton too. It's like God has given us this gift of life. We're creative beings. We need to look at it as like, I've been given this gift. What is the greatest version of myself? Have I ever thought of this? And not just like, a lot of people are like, well, it's finances. Well, what about your faith? What about family? What about your health? Not just your hustle and your finances. What's your purpose? What does all of this look like? I don't think people look at this, Andy. I don't think most people have a vision for what their life is or what they want it to be. And they don't pour into their health. And they don't pour into their faith. And they don't pour into their family. A lot of people out here running on the day-to-day grind, bro. And they're not even looking at any of this stuff. And that's why they stay stuck on the damn Ferris wheel. Because they're not looking at all this stuff. Because you win by doing the work on yourself. If you work out, you're going to vibrate higher. When you vibrate higher, you're going to be seen more. When you're seen more, you have more opportunity. When you have more opportunity, you're going to make more money. I mean, it all goes hand in hand.
100%.
You know?
And I'm glad that you went there with this. Because it's, while I'm over here trying to say like, hey, my show's not about the gym per se, but if you're trying to become a better human, like you're trying to become the most optimized version of yourself, you have to take care of that. Like,
Absolutely.
First and foremost, like, and how many times have you been on an airplane last year?
I don't even know, a lot.
And I guarantee you don't listen to this, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the pre-flight safety video, right? Every single time they talk about if the cabin loses pressure, a mask will deploy from overhead. Secure your own mask before helping others.
Right.
And you think about it as like, if I don't take care of this, what good am I to a partner, a spouse, my kid, my community, the people that come into the gym or the people that I coach? What good am I if I haven't taken care of my own shit first? Because whatever shit that I'm carrying around, I'm somehow going to put it on you. It's going to bleed through.
Yes.
My son had a swim meet a couple weeks ago, and I'm running around like, I love this shit, right? So, it's they got all the kids corralled outside because the pool deck's super small, so like parents are outside, kids are outside, and his mom's running around taking care of stuff, and I'm basically watching him, making sure he's got his food. We got frozen grapes and fresh cut fruit and all this sorts of. We don't feed this kid shit, right? He doesn't want it. It's not in the house. Like, he eats healthy, right?
Same with me.
And
I love it.
You've got all these. We brought all these snacks and we put them out, and you got like your little mini muffins and donuts. I watched this kid. And this like infuriates me to no end, because it's not the kid's fault. It's his parents' fault, because they don't take care of themselves, so therefore they don't take care of their kids. This kid, like, when I first described it, I felt bad, but I'm not going to feel bad about it. Like, this kid was fat at 7 or 8 years old. Fat.
Sad.
And I watched him take 3 donuts, the little mini ones, put them in his mouth, all at the same time. It was like he doesn't realize this because he's only 7 or 8. Like,
he's 7. You're poisoning him.
You're killing yourself. So as a parent, you're like, you're killing your kid. Once in a while is fine. And I talk about this.
It's a treat. 90-10, bro.
It's the 90-10 rule, and it's exactly what I do with my clients, my athletes, right? Yes, I'm in Nashville.
Yes.
I'm going to go have some good food and enjoy it, but it's for a short period of time. But when you eat that shit, how does it make you feel?
Correct.
And then, if I feel like shit, what am I gonna put out, right? To use your words, how am I gonna vibrate? I'm gonna be down here. And it's one of those, like, if we're existing on this planet to positively affect the people around us, and you don't take care of yourself, like, the fuck are you doing?
And what message are you sending your children? Like, dude, I always am. That's why, like, our kids are so amazing, because dude, check this out. This is how beautiful my son is, okay? Because, like, I test him when we hang out, you know what I mean? So I'm like, what do you need to do in life to achieve anything? And he'll be like, off the rip, when you see him, you ask him that, he'll go, you gotta believe. He'll know. I test him. So we're shopping the other day, right? This is why I love him, man. We're in the grocery store, and we're gonna watch. We were gonna go to the movies. We were gonna see Despicable Me 4. So we're like, my wife's like, "Do you want to get candy?" So I'm looking, and he's like, "Nah, I don't want candy. I want to be healthy." And I'm like, "Yo, I love you, dude, because I was about to get candy for the fucking movie, and you know what? You're the fucking man, dude. You're the man that I implanted that in you, that you just held dad accountable at 7 fucking years old, bro. I love that. I fucking love that. You know what I mean? Like, I love that my son that's his mindset. Because I see the other kids, they come, they eat fucking soda. I'm like, dude, drink, your kid's 7. My son never even had soda. He's 7 years old. He had it once, he don't like it.
Yeah. It's funny,
You know?
like if we're out to dinner or whatever, we'll ask him, do you want a Sprite? He's like, nah, some water. But it's like,
Yeah.
we have the ability, like he's a miniature version of me. Like the same,
Yes.
the same stubbornness, the same, and it's so funny. It's like, because
Yes.
I'm sure you can speak on this. Like, I can't be mad at him because I'm like, I did the same fucking shit. I was the same fucking kid. Like, I can't be mad at you.
But as we show up, my brother, is how they show up. So I always say, I don't want no chinks in the armor, because my weakness is his excuse, right? Like if I'm doing some shit, that gives him the right. I can't say if I'm doing something, right? I can't contradict and say, you know what, bud, I'm saying to do this, but I'm not doing it. I gotta show up in what I'm saying. That's how this thing works. Showing up in the man that I admire most. You know what I'm saying? So that he becomes that. So that he becomes better than me. That's the goal. 100%. Better than me. 100%. But if I'm not pouring into me, dude, and I'm not making myself the best version of myself, how the fuck is my kid gonna? You know what I mean? And that's why for me, and especially men and dads, constantly, the event we were just at, constantly go to those things, be in those rooms. Look at we met. You're gonna be around people in the same mindset that are growing in the same direction. Because if we're not, Andy, if we're not in the same rooms as guys like us in the same mindset, we are influenced by who we surround ourselves with. And if we're going to start hanging around people that aren't walking the same path as us, you could start veering off and walking the path that they're walking. And that's not your path. That is not your path in life. And
it's interesting, how I ended up at that event. Again, I don't believe in accidents. It was one of my members at the gym. I don't know if you know Silvio. I don't know, but he was like, "Hey, would you be cool if this group of guys came and trained at the gym?" I was like, "Yeah." I didn't even. Again, this is how I kind of go about things. Is if you ask, the answer is always yes, and we'll figure out how. I knew nothing about it, and then Silvio was asking if I wanted to come to the event, and I was like. Apparently I ended up sponsoring the event. I didn't even realize I was doing it. But it was even the day before. I shit you not. I was like, do I really want to go to this thing? Because I have other stuff to do. Right? Can I afford to spend a whole day and I went, and it was, had I not met you, right? Had I not met some of the other guys that were there and just sort of connected with that group. And and that was a month or two ago at this point. Everything started to fall into place the way that I want it to, right? I don't know if I would end up sitting here in a studio in Nashville recording this with you right now. You leave places like that when you surround yourself with people that are on a higher level, right? You're playing up, don't play down. And we get used to, what's that line about you? The sum total of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So it's, trimming the hedges, so to speak. Cutting. Unfortunately, some people got to go. Since you're in the I would say maybe in the last 13 years, but even since your surgery, how has your circle changed? What have you done since then? Have you I know these are just questions that are just kind of rolling with them, but if you go at some point, let me know. Give me a heads up. But
no. We're good, dude.
Because we talk a lot about the people that we surround ourselves with, and I have this conversation with Cameron all the time, my son. Of there's certain kids, and when they're 7, it's a different conversation, but. It's the same concept of, who you choose to spend your time with affects, whether or not you get in trouble on a Friday night because you were breaking into someone's car. So
Right.
how was that? Because obviously, you know, with your sobriety, you forged a different circle.
Absolutely.
But since your surgery, has that circle changed more?
Yeah, it's still changing, man. A lot has happened over the past year with business, my heart. So a lot of things have changed, bro. You know, I kind of went into got it real tight, you know, get the circle real tight. And sometimes you have to cut people out like that are not benefiting you in any way. Like my time right now is so valuable to me, and I'm very aware of who I spend it with, because it's the most precious asset I have. And I don't have time anymore for superficial relationships. If we're not adding value to one another, then there's no reason for it. No offense. I wish you the best of luck in life. But no, there's no reason. Like, if you're not helping me to grow, I'm not helping you to grow. You're not helping me in business, I'm not helping you. Like, there has to be, if we're not growing spiritually together, I don't give a fuck about who traded fucking Jimmy on the Bulls for the Knicks. Like, it's cool, it's awesome. And I have friends that I fuck around and we talk about that. But like, I want to like grow, dude. I want to grow in all areas of my life. I want to be vulnerable. When I'm down, I need you as a brother to be there for me, and vice versa. If we can't understand that, then there's no reason for this relationship. Okay. There's 8 billion people on the planet, and there's a lot of souls that will connect. And sometimes people are just here for a season, dude. They're here for a short time in our life to teach us something or to help us, or we're there to help them. You know, and it's just, that's where it is. It's just following the energy and vibration through the vision. Like, if you're not clear on your vision, then you're going to just hang around the same fucking idiot your whole life, not really going anywhere in life, doing the same fucking shit. You're in the same fucking episode of the sitcom every day. I've lived like 4 lives in this life, you know, so I want to continue to evolve and go into different circles and go where the energy goes of where my vision is going. I go with that and with the energy that's going with that. So yeah, the circles change, because I used to have drug and alcohol treatment center. I'm not in drug and alcohol treatment anymore. I wrote a book. I'm doing coaching. I'm doing speaking. So it's new circles, it's new people, and it's new energy. And it's pretty cool, man. It's been a super fun adventure. I might hop back into drug and alcohol treatment and start a facility. I'm looking at other avenues of business. I'm definitely going to start a brick and mortar business while I still do the coaching and book and speaking and all that. But I'm going to start a business. I've always been in drug and alcohol treatment, but dude, I feel like, you know what? Like, I died and came back. It's like it's a new movie, dude. Like, maybe there's like, that's why I wrote the book and I'm doing the coaching and this, because I don't want to go back to the same fucking movie. If I'm going to go back to the same movie, there has to be like a different part of the movie, which is like book, coach, speaking, you know what I mean? And maybe there's another business.
You already saw the ending. You already saw the ending
Yeah.
of the book. So it's, you know, I had, it's nowhere near your experience, but be 3 years ago this September, I had a terrible motorcycle accident. Thank God I had my helmet on that night. I took a header off the back of a pickup truck. And in the emergency room that night, there was 4 motorcycle accidents that night. I was the only person that survived.
Wow.
Like, so in that moment, I'm like, okay, I should have died.
Mm-hmm.
Had I not physically taken care of myself with training and powerlifting. Like, I headbutted a pickup truck at 55 miles an hour. Like,
yeah.
like, you don't walk from
Yeah.
that. So my whole thing from that point on is like, why the fuck am I still here? Because I'm not done yet.
Right.
So yes,
Right.
the gym is important, and I love owning the gym, and it's cool, but that's not who I am. I am here
Right.
to connect with other humans and make more of an impact. That is well outside. I'll always have that gym, you know, I love that. That's my place. But, you know, what am I doing to positively impact other people, because once I've fulfilled that purpose, that's when my time runs out. You know, that's like when you've done, my buddy Mitch, he fulfilled his purpose on this planet. His time ran out. But there's, 2 or 3 other people, however many donors there were from his organs, they now have an obligation to fulfill their purpose. So, that's where I exist now. And I think, having you on today is absolutely again, no accidents in timing of what do I want to accomplish. And we talked about so many different things, but it really does stem from here, and really like what are we putting out. And I think that's I couldn't have asked for anything better. But I guess to wrap it up, tell me about your book real quick, where people can find it, if people want to contact you, how they can get a hold of you, and really, I guess, your elevator pitch of what you do.
Yeah, dude. So I started writing this book in the hospital last year when I was facing death, I thought. And so we put it together over the past year, and it's now out. You could get it you could go to my Instagram. It's at Frank Parisi 2011. You could purchase the book there. It's on pre-sale. Yes, thank you so much, my brother. Thank you for the book plug. I don't have my book in front of me. That's terrible. I need my book in front of me. Yes, thank you. And you could order it at frank-parisi.com if you want an autograph or if you want any swag. I got a bunch of Embrace Abundance t-shirts. You could get the Kindle version there. Or you could wait until August 1st and you could order it on Amazon. So I also created an Embrace Abundance coaching program where we go through, it's basically my 5 pillars, but it's a lot with fitness as well, fitness and mindset. But we look at embracing abundance through faith, family, health, hustle, purpose to find like our greatest version of self. It's creating a community. They'll be getting workout plans as well as meal plans. My diet, dude, everything that I eat, all of the recipes will be in there. They could buy the coaching program on its own, or they could do the one-on-one coaching with me. And we also, with the one-on-one coaching, we have a group coaching weekly session. And it's just building community, very similar to what me and you are doing. Like I have a few entrepreneurs in the group, guys that are looking to level up their mindset, people that are on the same vibration, that want to grow as a community together and individually in all areas of their life. And that's what we're doing, dude. And that's a huge passion for me. You know what I mean? Being able to help people and pour into people and help them to break through barriers and become the greatest version of themselves. That to me, bro, like it's the greatest gift in the world. Going back to the kid Johnny that came into the hospital. I don't think I finished the story. He came in the hospital. I wasn't letting anyone in. My wife wasn't there. She went to get me a sandwich or something. I'm in the hospital sitting there. In comes this kid Johnny, and I go, Johnny, why are you here? I don't want no one to see me like this. I'm like 145 pounds. And he goes, Frank, you're Superman to me. You pulled me out of that house 8 years ago. I owned a treatment center at the time. I did a 12-step call. I pulled the kid, I did an intervention. I pulled the kid out of a house, alcohol everywhere. Bring him to the treatment center that I own and let him stay there for 2 months for free, and then we hired him. You know, the kid's doing great. That's what matters in life, my brother, is the impact we make on others. That's what matters. So, go to Frank Parisi 2011 on Instagram and get my book, man. So, and I appreciate you, Andy. I definitely cannot wait, dude, to come back to South Carolina. I told my wife, I fell in love with South Carolina. I was only there for the event, so I didn't get a chance to see everything. But dude, I'm coming back. I love it. I want to go train at your gym. I was with my family, so it was a limited time. But dude, when I come back, me and you are going to kick it 100%.
For sure, dude. I think it's one of those, just when you come back to town, make sure you reach out. We'll get you all the good shit in Charleston. Not the touristy shit, but all
Yeah, dude, that would be great, dude. I need you to like take me around. Yeah.
You know, the
I
best
love
part
it,
about
man.
this is I didn't know anything about your coaching, right? So, and this is the coolest fucking part. Is like I'm in this very moment. I'm changing my approach to how I coach and what I offer, and it's exactly what you just described. So it's, you know, again, nothing happens by accident, right? So it's,
Hey, dude, you never know. Maybe we do some collaborating together, man.
sure. Yeah.
You know?
Dude, I
Yeah.
appreciate you taking the time today, man. I know it's
Oh,
Monday,
thank you so
it's
much
busy.
for having me on, brother.
It definitely went a little longer, but you know what? You were cool with it. I'm cool with it. So
Yeah, man, it was awesome. I appreciate you having me on, my brother.
stay in touch, man. And let me know when you come back to
I
Charleston.
will, definitely.